Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Julie. I am a homeschooling mom of 5, and today we are just nearing, when you see this, I'm trying to remember what day this goes up. We finished school on June the 16th. So I think this video is going up right before we end school. Right now we're still a week and a bit out from ending the school year, but I'm going to give you just a year-end review in today's video. This is my 8th year homeschooling, finishing off my 8th year, going into my 9th year next year. It is just insane how quickly time goes. Those 8 years ago, I was just starting to teach my oldest, who is starting junior kindergarten, and this coming school year, my 5th child will be starting his junior kindergarten year. So it's crazy. It's crazy looking back and just seeing how quickly time goes. But I'm going to go through, this video will mostly just be focused on our curriculum, and I'll give you a little review on the curriculum that we used this school year. We were happy with everything. We had a really good school year. We are hardly changing any of our curriculum as we go into this coming school year. A couple little changes I will tell you about, but for the most part, we've just been really happy with the curriculum we're using. I'm just going to go through our day and just talk about the curriculum in the order that we do it through our homeschool days. So I'm going to start by talking about our Bible curriculum. I may link some more videos down below in the description so you can see more in depth some of our curriculum. For instance, our Bible curriculum, I'm going to quickly flip through it today, but I do have a video that I posted last summer where I shared exactly what is in this book. So this is a book I just put together myself, made these nice little covers, and we really focused on memorization this year. So one thing we did, we would start our Bible time off by reading through the Psalms. So most days we would read a psalm to start our school day. The kids each brought their Bibles and we would go around verse by verse, everyone reading. And so we're going to continue that next year. I think currently we're at about Psalm 80, and so we're just going to start where we left off next school year. But then we also did a bunch of memorization. So we were memorizing, there's very light font on these pages, but we were memorizing this catechism. We also went through and we memorized the books of the Old Testament, the books of the New Testament. We memorized the 12 disciples, the 10 commandments, the 7 days of creation. And then I also have at the back just a whole bunch of hymns that we learned. And then I also had just some Bible verses that I wanted to memorize through our days this year. So next year we will continue memorizing that catechism. We will finish off, memorizing the Beatitudes, and I think there's something else in here too we didn't get to, but I will also add to it. I am planning on doing really the same thing next year for our Bible curriculum. I'll type out a whole bunch of new verses, I'll print out some new hymns, and print out some new facts and things that I want to memorize, but we're really planning on doing a very similar thing for Bible time next year. This is my book. I do have basically identical books for each of the kids as well, so I'll just be updating those through the summer, and I will post a video sharing what next year's Bible curriculum will look like. This was our 2nd year using the Gather Round homeschool curriculum. So I'm just going to go through, I wrote down the units that we did this year. We did North America, South America, Careers and Trades, and Inventions. Those were 5 full-size units. Then we also did 3 mini units. So those are just shorter units. Instead of 20 lessons, it would have 12 lessons. And for that, we did government, Easter, and Christmas. I had printed one more unit. It was farming and food, and I was hoping to get through all of those. We did not get to farming and food, so we're going to start that off in the fall. Next year, I'm not going to do Christmas and Easter. I did both of those 2 years in a row, and so I love doing the seasonal units, but this year we're just going to focus on doing 6 full-length units. And I was going to go through and tell you what our favorite units were, but these were all really good ones this year. I love the continent units. I find that there's not the repetition that there might be in some of the other units. For instance, we did space before, and by the end it just got a little bit much because there's just so much. Every planet you have the same kind of things you're studying, and differences between the planets, the continents, you know, you're studying these different countries and there's a lot of differences. We enjoyed that variety. We also really loved careers and trades. I found that one so interesting. I thought if I had done this, especially as like a high schooler, it would have been so helpful just going into, you know, where you're looking for a job and figuring what you want to do for a career. And so that one was really good. I'll just show you the one that we're doing right now. This is one we're just finishing up. This is Inventions and Ideas. And I love this one too. This one has been really good. So we still have a few lessons left here as I'm showing this to you, but just kind of a little flip through here. So for each unit, I have myself a teacher's guide. You can go on the Gather Round website and you can print hard copy, or you can order hard copies. It is, of course, a bit pricier, or you can order the digital pack. So I order the digital pack. I have the teacher's guide as well as all of the other, access to all of the other levels. What I'm currently doing with my kids is I'm printing up upper elementary for my 2 oldest kids who are in grade 6 and grade 4. My grade 3 son does the early elementary level. And then my daughter Zara, she is in 1st grade. She has a very late birthday. Her birthday's November, so she's still 6. I printed up the books for her, the early reader books. She didn't really use it at all. Sometimes she would open her books and do some coloring and stuff, but I mostly just kept her schoolwork to math, reading, and writing this year. So she didn't do a lot of her books. I could have gone without printing up the Gather Round books for her. So about our favorite unit, I guess I just really liked everything we used this year. I might say careers and trades was our favorite, but we really enjoyed using Gather Round again, and yes, we absolutely are using Gather Round next year. I love how we can just sit down and do this as a group. A lot of the kids' pages, even when they're at different levels, they're doing the same sort of theme for each of their work pages. So like I said, I read from my teacher's guide. The kids have their workbooks. Each day we usually complete 1 lesson, so they sit and listen as I read, and then they each have 4 or 5 work pages to do on their own. And so their work pages, this is a unit study, so it includes your writing, grammar, spelling, vocabulary, geography, science, history. It's kind of all sprinkled in there. It doesn't include math. It includes all of your other subjects. It actually includes Bible as well. I just like to do extra Bible on the side. So that is our core curriculum, and we are very happy with it. We used the Handwriting Without Tears books. We have been using Handwriting Without Tears. We've been using this company's books our entire homeschooling journey. Ever since my oldest son started school, we've been using these books, and I really enjoy them. I really like the layout of these books. We have been continuing to use them even though we have writing in our Gather Round books. I wanted just to give them a bit of extra writing practice, and I just wanted them to practice cursive this year. So my oldest 2 kids used this one. They already both knew how to write in cursive. I wanted them to have more practice. And then my 3rd grader, he had not done cursive yet. So this was just an introduction to cursive for him. We like these books. I love the style that they are written in. I like that they have pictures and just the size of the pages. For the Gather Round curriculum, it is enough. That is like one of the biggest questions is the Gather Round curriculum enough? And so I will say, yes, it is enough. It is a complete curriculum other than your math. You as the teacher can decide, I really want my kids to do more science experiments than what is in Gather Round. I really want to add spelling on the side. So if you're doing Gather Round for your very first year, I would say do math, do Gather Round, that's it. But after you've done a year, maybe you'll get a feel for what your kids might still need extra practice in. Maybe they need more practice in their writing. And so a little extra writing practice won't hurt. But the main reason that I wanted my kids, well, for one, I wanted them to learn cursive and I wanted that step-by-step instruction. But another main reason I wanted my kids to have writing books is because we have sick days here and there. we have days where we have an appointment in the morning, and so we only have a partial day of school, or just different things come up where there might be a day I know that we are not going to get to a full lesson in our Gather Round curriculum. And so on those days, rather than say, okay, well, we're not doing Gather Round, I guess we'll just do math, I can still give them math, and I can give them writing in their writing books. So the writing books are not a daily thing. It's more like once every week or two. One child is sick. I don't want that child to miss out on our Gather Round lesson. So I'll just say, okay, we're not going to do Gather Round today. Pull out your writing books, pull out your journal. I have journals for each of the kids too. And you can still do some writing practice. Another thing, I'll quickly add this in. Another thing I sometimes will do if I have one sick child is I will still, as long as they are coherent enough that they can sit and listen to as I read, I will read the Gather Round lesson. That child just won't do their work pages that day, but the other children will do their work pages so that none of them are missing out. They're still all hearing the lesson. But for those days where maybe we just don't have time to do Gather Round, they still have writing to do. That kind of rolls into my next thing, and that is the Good and the Beautiful. It wasn't my plan to use the Good and the Beautiful. We kind of just jumped into it right near the end of our school year. I think it was maybe April. And the reason this all started is because my first grader, Zara, she completed her 2 Handwriting Without Tears books for the year. And I wanted to find her another writing curriculum. I had gotten comments and recommendations on the Good and the Beautiful, so I thought, okay, I finally just need to look into this. I've heard good things about this company. I've never used them. And so I went onto their site. They have so many great freebies. I think it's up to grade 5 or something. They have, okay, I don't remember which one. So I bought this one for her. It's the Language Arts and Literature level 1, and I also bought her handwriting, or I also got her handwriting level 1. One of these books was $10 and one was free. I'm pretty sure it was the handwriting that was $10 and their language arts curriculum was free. But when I got the language arts curriculum, it also came with a little reader. So there's just a whole bunch of stories in here that she's been reading, full color pages. This was all, I printed it all at home. And then it also came with a whole bunch of flashcards. So I'm not quite sure where to start here. I feel like I just have a bit to explain here. We started off this school year using Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. This is my 3rd child that I've been using this book with. And I've posted videos where I explained how we use it, and I really like this book for teaching your child to read. I think my older 2 kids they grasped it quickly, and so this new phonics rule was taught. They were able to grab onto it and they were able to just read, and they progressed through the book really quickly. I felt with Zara like we were just hitting a wall with it, and I knew she just needed more. I needed to break it apart more and really just make sure the phonics foundations were there, and just teaching it and reviewing it a couple times. I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but she just needed more practice. I think she needed it to go a little bit slower, and it was kind of going faster, and we were just hitting a wall with the 100 Easy Lessons book. And so I wasn't even really intending on switching the curriculum, but when I went onto the Good and the Beautiful site and found this handwriting book, which I will show you a few pages in here, when I found this book, can you see that? I don't know, maybe I'll show a little bit more as like a B-roll as I'm talking here. I just kind of came across the language arts curriculum too, and because it was free, I thought, okay, I better print that up too. And so we went through and did the first few lessons. It has a couple of sections, so we got all the way up until Unit 2, but it was really nice to use something different. She enjoyed something fresh, something new, and we have been loving using these flashcards. So for the flashcards, it comes with, I think it was 200 printable flashcards, and so I printed those all up, I laminated them all, and so here are the ones we are currently working on. So she has just some new sounds, blends that she is learning, and then it gets into some words as well that we go through and we will review every day. So the flashcards, all that repetition has been really, really good for her. So all that to say, I guess we are switching up a little bit because we're not using 100 Easy Lessons. We are totally doing the Good and the Beautiful language arts curriculum now. And so I haven't decided like 100% because I need to go onto the Good and the Beautiful site and look through what they have. But I am thinking that I am also going to switch our writing curriculum over to the Good and the Beautiful for the older kids as well. It was a little bit of a tricky decision because Handwriting Without Tears we enjoy. Handwriting Without Tears, it's a little bit trickier for us to get in Canada. Like there's nowhere I can buy it where I'm not paying for shipping. So the price adds up quite a bit. I love being able to buy digital curriculum and print it up and compile it myself, and so that's a definite pro for this curriculum. And I also like just a bit of extra language arts to get mixed in with our writing. I think that will be good for the kids, again, for those days where maybe we don't get to gather around and they still have something that they can do individually, even if we're not doing our unit study as a group. I hope all that made sense, but that's like the one little change I think we're gonna make as we go into next school year, because I've just been really happy with the Good and the Beautiful writing and language arts curriculum that I did with Zara just over these past couple of months. So that is about all of our curriculum. I have a pile. Oh wait, no it's not. I didn't even write down math. I was like, I'm missing something. Okay, for math, I knew I should have written better notes. I think, oh, I'll remember it all as I talk, and then I miss something big. So for math, my 3 oldest are all doing teaching textbooks math, which we still really like. I've done, again, probably 3 or 4 videos where I've just talked in depth about teaching textbooks if you're more curious about how that math program works. But I have my 3 oldest doing that on computers. It's great, it's independent, and I can really focus on helping my first grader on her math. She is doing Math UC, which we really enjoy. We've been using Math UC right from the beginning. Teaching textbooks starts around grade 3, and so we do Math UC for kindergarten and grade 1 and grade 2, and then we switch to teaching textbooks. So my first grader is still on Math UC. She has no front cover on her book, so I don't know where to start here. Actually, again, I'll just do B-roll. I'll show you a little bit of the inside of this book, but I've been really happy with how Math UC has worked for our family. And so that, I think, is all our main curriculum. My oldest 2 kids are still doing typing. We just do typing.com. It's a free site. And so they do that once a week. My 3rd grader, next year when he's in grade 4, will start doing typing lessons as well. And then I also teach my 3 oldest piano lessons and trying to fit piano practice into our day. It's a lot. We have full days. And next year, Zara, my first grader, I've started teaching all of my kids around 7. She'll be 7 in November, so I think we'll start her on piano lessons in September as well. And so then of course my 3-year-old going into junior kindergarten in the fall. It will be interesting trying to figure out our routine. I definitely will be switching things up just because of some of these extra additions to our school year, which kind of blows my mind, like, to say that, because I feel like our days they're full. Our days are full, and so for me to think, oh, we need to add a few things next year, it's like, wait a second, hold up. Where am I gonna find this time? But we'll figure it out. I will definitely be posting videos over the summer showing you our curriculum for next school year. I will be posting a back to school haul. I will be showing you my preschool, junior kindergarten curriculum. I think that's really it that I wanted to share with you today. I hope that wasn't too long-winded, and I hope that was a good, thorough review on all the curriculum that we use this year. If you have any more questions for me, don't hesitate to leave those down below in the comments, or if you have any other video ideas you'd like to see from me, let me know down in the comments below, and subscribe if you're new here. I would love to have you as part of my channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.